My God, if the American right loved children half as much as they love the idea of them, the world might actually be a kinder place. But they don't. Not really. They love the scripture and the myth, the fetus floating like a holy relic in the amniotic ether. They do not love the hungry child, the brown child, the orphan child, the foreign child, the child hiding under rubble, especially not the Palestinian one. They say life begins at conception, or before conception if you catch them after a couple of bourbons and a Fox News rerun. Life, they'll argue with trembling hands and trembling Bibles, is sacred at 2 weeks. At the flutter of sails unseen to the human eye, at that moment, they claim, with teary eyes and trembling voices, that God has stitched a soul into the fabric of the cosmos, and interferes to commit murder. They will chain themselves to clinics and scream at rape victims and call it virtue. They will carve sanctimony into law with trembling, bloodless fingers. But let that child be Palestinian, and suddenly that heartbeat is just a statistic. The same man who claims every life is precious will gladly fund the bombs that shred children into bone and ash halfway across the world. He will watch the footage, if he dares watch it all, and mutter something about Hamas, about tunnels, about unfortunate collateral. He will turn off the TV and pour a drink and sleep like a man who thinks God cannot hear screams across borders. It's not pro-life. This is fetishism of birth, a bloodless idolatry of potential that ends the moment a child takes a breath, especially if that breath is drawn beneath a hijab or under an occupation. The moment that child is born in Gaza beneath a foreign sky under the shadow of American-supplied war machines, she becomes a target, not a miracle. Threat, not a soul. And the GOP and the MAGA right, these bootlicking apostles of cruelty, these piss-colored prophets of forced virtue, they want you to believe that they are the righteous defenders of the unborn. But their love of life has a border. Their compassion ends with citizenship. Their morality is stamped made in America and expires on impact. You cannot preach about the sanctity of life and then cheer for genocide. You cannot scream that abortion is murder and then applaud when hospitals are bombed, when schools are turned to smoke, when infants suffocate in incubators without power because the fuel trucks were turned away. You cannot quote scripture while turning a blind eye to the slaughter of children unless your God is a war profiteer. There is no moral universe in which you can hold up a picture of a fetus on the Senate floor and then vote to send more weapons to a government that has buried 10,000 children in a matter of months.